I'm Charles Addison, Director of Made in the Midlands, and welcome to Meet Britain's Makers. Please subscribe, like, share, comment below, and a warm welcome to Richard Monoid, General Manager of S&S Plastics. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, Charles. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Tell us about the business, Richard. Obviously, injection moulding, tool make design.
Right, S&S Plastics, I started it since 1989. Servicing the building industry by way of injection moulded components for the double glazing industry. Built that process over a number of years now. So in 89 we were in a small unit of 1,500 square feet. In 97 we built it up to move into 6,000 square feet. And then in 2004 we moved into 21,000 square feet, which enabled us to have everything in-house. We've got a fully functional tool room, using the latest machinery and software, and we're currently employing 85 people.
Wow.
And
some consistent growth there then.
It's considerable growth, even through the recession, although we had to make some difficult decisions and make cuts, but even so, through the recession, companies do actually invest in new product with a view that, of course, we will come out of recession and then they can hit the market with their product. And that has worked very successfully for us.
It tends to be the ones that don't invest and cut back and don't plan for the future that tend to get caught out by recession.
They're the ones, and the ones that have poor cash flow control, which in some respects it can be a positive thing, but it's harsh. It's been a very harsh period for us, but we've come through it, and we're on the up.
So what are the operational challenges that you face? Obviously 85 employees growing up into that sort of medium area of the SME size. How is business at the moment?
Business is very good at the moment. There's of course this element of concern as to the situation around the world, but we take that on board. We have to face those challenges. Our main concerns going forward are really the skill set, which most manufacturing companies are facing, but we're working hard to resolve those issues. And the other thing, of course, is our customer base are cautious at the moment in placing new product development. There is activity, but they're sitting on the shelf at the moment.
How do you position yourself in the market then to differentiate from other firms? I mean, if obviously the customer continues to need to innovate, and we're seeing, particularly in building and automotive, the move towards lightweight materials being particularly important, and obviously lending themselves well to plastics and polymers. How do you stand out to win that business, to influence and to be part of that cycle when they do finally place the order?
The trick for us is to build up solid relationships with our customer base, and so that we become a part of their business, and our technical expertise to remove their perceived problems from them, so it gives them the confidence that we're not just a plastics moulding company, we're more than that. We want to be a long-term partner of their business, so we can take their whole idea from concept right through to the grave, if you like. And it's working very well for us. Even for the larger customers that we have, people like Siemens, they enjoy working with what on the surface appear to be relatively small companies, but we're very innovative and we can help them develop their products. The two technical teams can work together. It's worked very well for us for the last 5 years. Okay,
and let's talk about polymers. I mean, what's the future of your sector look like, and the opportunities for S&S Plastics?
The polymer development now is really exciting, because it's almost, it feels like it's out of control, because no sooner than you specify a particular polymer type, then they're developing further products. The higher end market, like the pharmaceutical, medical and certainly electrical, they specify polymer types, so it's difficult to move away from those specified products. But it's great fun for us in that no matter what people come to us with, we can generally go back to our supply chain and say, hey guys, we need to produce this, and they'll say, well, as it is, we've got a polymer that will do exactly that.
How long does that process tend to take? I mean, the R&D side.
That can take. We've got some projects that have been going on for 5 years. They take an awful long time. Medical products take a long time to get to market. You're generally looking at in and around 7 years before the original inquiry comes through to the tool design and the polymer choice. That can take that long. It's a long, arduous process, and rather frustrating at times.
Well, if you look at the Midlands as a competence, obviously a traditional manufacturing base, a lot of focus on metalwork. Where are the sort of centres of excellence around plastics and polymers? Is the Midlands famous for it?
The Midlands has always been a hotbed for injection moulding and extrusion. We're very fortunate, and where S&S is placed in the country at Mansfield, we've got a high amount of extrusion business in our area, and certainly injection moulding and tool making. Not as many as there was. That's a sad fact, that a lot of those smaller suppliers have gone now, which is good for S&S Plastics, of course.
Yeah.
But yes, the Midlands is realistically, genuinely the backbone of manufacturing in the whole of the United Kingdom. It is a hotbed of manufacturing. Long may that continue.
Absolutely. Is the customer base then very UK centric?
It is for S&S Plastics, yes. We service predominantly only the UK, although we have customers that then take our product that we've made for them overseas. Okay. As far as to Goa, Berlin, that's the farthest reach it goes.
Brilliant. And we talked a little earlier about one of the big problems that's made certainly an impact to all manufacturers in the Midlands at the moment, and that is of the sort of the next generation of engineers coming through. What does that look like at S&S? Do you have what's the sort of demographic of the firm look like?
I'm very conscious of that any business, any manufacturing business, is only as good as its staff and its customers, of course, but the staff is really important to us. So we do our very best to keep bringing youth into business. And by that I mean we want those that want to leave school at 16, we encourage them to come and join and further their education through to 18. And those that are coming out of further education, we want to get those on board. The biggest challenge we're facing is getting youth interested in manufacturing. And we try and work very hard with local schools to get children to come along for work experience. That is proving to be very difficult because the education system is biased towards getting grade A results all the time, and not everybody is an academic. So it really needs to be from government. I've got to change, in my opinion, the education system to those children that are less academic, give them the opportunity to come into preferably the SME land and just see what makes the world go round, so that they can make wise choices as to how they want to further their education. So that we as a small company, we can offer them from administration work through to CAD design, into manufacturing, into warehousing and sales. And if they could have a week of exposure of that, even if they come out at the end of the week and say, none of that interests me, I would still see that as a success for that individual, because then they can focus their efforts on other areas of education.
We had I was familiar with the story of one of our members who has a school program by which their GCSE level students in the local secondary school visit the engineering facility as part of a sort of career broadening horizon. And unfortunately the meetings were cancelled because the GCSE results didn't improve, and the debate was whether the meetings in the first place should have even been measured against that. I mean, getting government to change policy and the curriculum is one thing. Obviously Made the Midlands does a lot to try and change perception of industry in the eyes of young people, but what can companies like yours in the SME space do together?
We've got to make ourselves more attractive. We've got to push hard on government policy about education. We've got to make ourselves look more attractive to those youngsters and to the education system, to get those people to change how they currently think. Manufacturing, if you ask a lot of young children, what does manufacturing mean to you? And they tend to come back, and I've done it for my own kids, and ask them and their friends, what do you think of manufacturing? They still believe that it's a fairly dirty process and you're going to be in a factory. And when they actually come and see it and see how modern and challenging it is, predominantly through IT, that when they see these 5XS machining centres running and the people programming them, that excites them and they suddenly think, well, looks really interesting. I wouldn't mind doing that. So it's getting really those decision makers to come into industry and talk to the likes of myself to really understand how enthusiastic we are about bringing youth into manufacturing.
I think one of the opportunities to talk about the importance of Industry 4.0 and some of the big data concepts, the sharing the technology and the automation side to try and enthuse those technological enthusiasts to get involved in the sector. That certainly seems to be the biggest challenge from our point of view.
Well, the United Kingdom is a hotbed for technology, isn't it? That's widely accepted. So we need to build on that and work with those as business partners.
Yeah.
We've got to embrace change, haven't we, and move forward and accept where we are in the world. We've got to embrace it.
Indeed. Well, that's fantastic. We'll wrap up there. Thank you very much, Richard, for your time. That was superb. Great to hear about S&S Plastics.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
In the continuation of meeting Britain's makers for Made in the Midlands, please subscribe and comment below. And if you'd like to feature on the channel, simply contact our team to tell us about your business.